Microsoft's integration with ChatGPT is not a very big problem to Google as compared to... Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. When Microsoft announced its quarterly results, I was very curious to understand what is the impact of ChatGPT going to be on its revenues going forward. So I started digging in. It was a short report but lots and lots of numbers all around the place. The first page highlighted the revenues for this last quarter, and that was $52.7 billion. And the three main segments the revenues are coming from. Number one, productivity and business processes. This includes Microsoft Dynamics, something similar to Salesforce CRM, Microsoft Office licenses that are giving to the corporates, then cloud, Microsoft Azure, then computing. Out of all these three divisions, cloud is the one which is growing the fastest, and also it's the division which is the highest revenue contributor, $21.5 billion and 18% growth. Now, then I started digging into what and how this entire cloud market itself is playing out. Cloud market is currently one of the fastest growing technology pieces within the entire industry. It's growing at close to 15% year over year, while the personal computer market is going down and all the other divisions within the tech as well are going down. So Azure is very well placed. The biggest contributor for Microsoft, Azure, is also growing at a very healthy pace. Then I started understanding who are the players in this space. Of course, AWS, 55% of the market share, then Microsoft, which has 21% market share, then Google, then Oracle, then a few others remaining. Now, all these guys do not have so much differentiation with respect to the services that they add. However, ChatGPT could be that changing feature because Microsoft has exclusivity contract with ChatGPT. And what is the service that they bring onto the table? If you go ahead and do a search on, hey, what are the top 10 programming languages right now, it will give out a list: Python, then let's say JavaScript, and then whatever, A, B, C, D, E. However, if you add a little more context, I'm a 19-year-old student without any background in programming languages and I want to build a career in programming, which language would you suggest? It is suggesting the first one, but it is giving me a lot more confidence with respect to why I should go for Python. Subsequently, what I should do, that's move to JavaScript, and finally, what are some of the fundamentals that I should build my entire programming career on. Now, imagine if this context can be automated for every corporate employee who is using Azure platform. For example, your company is right now using Azure to store all their data, and all the corporate employees' database is also fed into Azure. So when you type out, hey, what should be I learning as my next programming language, it already takes into account that, hey, Pavan is a senior software engineer with 10 years experience in Java, Python, and now recommend him what he should do next. The entire context setting is automated. Imagine the impact that could have on the final result. Now that's what Microsoft is aiming for, the conversational AI. That conversational AI is not something which AWS or Google Cloud is offering right now. And if this goes through well, then clearly Microsoft Azure can grow at a much faster pace compared to AWS or Google Cloud. That's a real big ticket item, and that's the reason why a $10 billion investment is definitely worthy for Microsoft. Now, this very clearly understands, hey, AWS, Amazon is a question mark, and how they grow, how they compete with Microsoft is something we need to look forward to. Then what's happening with Google? Google search is something very different. We are not going to give this context, right? The background, hey, I'm a programmer, I am an action movie lover, can you please recommend the movies? This context does not go into every single question that we have, every single search query that we have. And also, to remember, ChatGPT is not going to be a free tool. It's going to be an expensive tool, $40, $50 per month. We are not used to paying anything for a search result. And also, add on top of that, Google has 95% market share. It takes a long time to get off that market share numbers. So Google is relatively well positioned, and it might come up with something by the time ChatGPT becomes mainstream, it's included in Bing, and Bing search starts taking some kind of market share from Google. So Google definitely has some time. With this, it's very obvious why this entire investment has happened, and I personally believe this is a pretty rational investment from Microsoft. If you do agree, please do go ahead, click on that like button. If not, let me know your thoughts in the comments and I would love to read them. Now, moving on, there are also a few other numbers and there are also a few other acquisition news from Microsoft in the last 1 year, which is Activison. Now, if you look at the personal computing numbers, the Windows are down by 39%. Xbox is still down, but relatively better. And if we go deep into the commentary, it's the content revenues which are coming down, but the Game Pass, the subscription revenues are actually increasing for Microsoft. Once the acquisition, the entire Activision acquisition, if it goes through, then the content will come on board and the Game Pass revenues will further increase. That's another play that Microsoft is playing right now. Not to highlight, the gaming industry revenues are also growing at a healthy 9%. When compared to all the other individual subsegments within the tech industry, cloud is growing at 15% and gaming is growing at 9%. And these are the two places where Microsoft has come up with decent investment options. Now, what's happening then with the PC market? Well, PC market is cyclical in nature, right? When we buy a laptop, we are not going to look into that laptop again for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. A lot of them have purchased these PCs in 2020, 2021. So that cycle still has certain time. And that revenues from the PC division might go down continuously for a few more quarters as well. And until that time, Microsoft will pick up its Xbox revenues and also it will pick up its Azure revenues even more. I hope this analysis makes sense to you. Please do let me know if you have any questions and I will try to answer in the comment section itself.